Today we're going to talk about estimating and just going to quickly run you through some of the short things that a lot of people overlook. I'm looking at this model and as you can see there's a fair bit going on there, and if I went to see all, there's a lot going on. You've got excavation, cranes, the whole deal. So the first thing I'm going to do is just click takeoff. Now it's going to take a second to generate this takeoff, but the reason why I did that is that the button that most people miss is unestimated items. If I click that, what it's done is it's now outlined anything that isn't quantified. We all know the most important part of estimating is ensuring that you get everything and you've associated a price with it. So as you can see there, furniture, well, you know, it's usually the client that does that. That's understood. You can see here that I haven't actually quantified my ground, my cut and fill there, so I can associate something with that. And a lot of this other stuff is just geometry and section cuts and so on. So I kind of get that. I'm going to go back to the original state, which shows everything. That means that I have at least inside of this takeoff here, every single one of these items is listed. However, some of them don't have prices, and how do we find that? So let's go to our framing tab here, and you'll notice here on the left-hand side here, we have two items that don't have a price associated with it. So if I go to edit, see more, I can now go inside of here very quickly, and anything that's orange is now telling me that I haven't added a price for my 190 by 70 or 8 by 3. So therefore, you know, I'd look up that price. Obviously, just so happens I've got a pretty good idea how much that is to buy. It's roughly $30, right? So again, if I go back, looking, you can see now I have one item that doesn't have a price. And these are the most important things to be looking for. You can also associate fixed price with items. You'll probably notice that I have done that inside of here. And sometimes if you're at a preliminary stage of the estimate, you really want to be just looking at preliminary figures in some cases. Now, if I got a quote back from a supplier, I'd be putting in the exact price. However, if I actually wanted to change that price, and usually what I would do, and here's a tip, is if I haven't got an exact price, I would usually put in something that isn't normal, right? So I would just go 0.33 on every single time I do an estimate. If I see 0.33, it means I've taken a guess at it. I can go back and have a look at it later. You'll also notice that it's adding the margin on top of these prices here as well, because my margin is set up in the top here. So I've got 25% on this project at the moment, and I need to go through and quickly check how many items. So you can see here inside of my fix out, I don't have a price in there for several different items. It makes it really quick and easy to ensure you've associated a price. Now, once you've done that, guys, you then would go and click your client estimate button, and then you can now have a detailed quote according to everything that's inside of the item. And it's a good place to check. Now, you don't have to have all of these items in here. Let's see if we can just make this a bit bigger. I can go through and turn supply items off and so on here. So if I don't want to show labor items and I don't want to show, I can just simply tick these boxes here, and as you can see, it's starting to change the way the quote looks, and therefore people can't price check you or say Uncle Frank's a tiler and they want to do that part of the job. And obviously you get them to sign down here. Anyway, guys, if you've got any questions, ask them below. There's a whole heap of videos on our YouTube channel about estimating, so by all means, look up PlusSpec on YouTube and you'll find out how to do everything that you've seen to date. Cheers, guys.